Welcome to the Subconscious CEO Podcast, the only place where you will learn how to once and for all eliminate your limiting beliefs, eradicate stress, energetically align with the success you are craving, and learn real strategies to become seen and heard in order to define your brand and expand your business. My name is Jackie Adams, and I am an integrative hypnotist and energy healer with a background as a nurse, people leader, and entrepreneur. My mission in life is to make sure everyone who desires to step into their highest self and create the business of their dreams has these vital tools to thrive. So let's get into it. Hello. Welcome to the Subconscious CEO Podcast. Yay! I'm Jackie Adams, your host, and I am so excited to start recording episodes. I can't even tell you. So I had a podcast a few years ago called the Radiantly Rising podcast, and I created episodes for probably about 6 months, and I just kind of stopped because I ended that coaching business. It wasn't aligned with my goals at the time anymore. And man, I miss podcasting. It was such a fun way to connect with people who were listeners and also people that I had as guests on my podcast. So I am just so excited to start bringing content that helps people to connect with the messages I'm so excited to share. A lot of you may know that I am a integrative hypnotist, a breathwork facilitator, an energy healer, and I've integrated all of those modalities into my existing knowledge base of life coaching, and also use my experience that I've had for the past 14 years of being a registered nurse and, other digital marketing entrepreneurship adventures I've been on. I'm also a mom. I've got 4 kids. I've got a husband, 2 miniature dachshunds. I've got a lot going on in my life. And I also have a lot that I want to pull from and really just bring lessons and inspiration and education out to you, the people listening to this podcast that are really aligned with utilizing these tools into becoming the best version of yourself, into really stepping into the vision of success you hold for yourself by aligning your beliefs, your values, the words you speak, the actions you take, the behaviors you have, and putting that all together to creating the life you want. And I am really speaking mostly to entrepreneurs or people leaders or really driven people who want to create something for others to enjoy. And if you are not in that category, I still have plenty of tidbits for you to learn as well. This is very inclusive. Today, I really want to talk about goal setting and why is it that goal setting is important? What is the difference between an intention and a goal? And really how to create achievable goals. So, first, I want to talk about what is the difference between an intention and a goal. A goal is a specific, measurable, and often time-bound target or outcome that you are actively working towards achieving. They're typically pretty well-defined. So, for example, I want to lose 20 pounds in 1 year. It's a clear, measurable goal. An intention is more of a broader statement of your purpose or a desired direction in life. That represents more of a mindset or the way you want to approach a situation. So, for example, I intend to live a healthier and more balanced life is an intention rather than a goal. And intentions often will lead you into the same actions that you would be taking when you set a goal, it just depends on what is better aligned for you. Would you rather set an intention? Would you rather set a goal? I think both works good for me. I like having that intention that's more of the purpose and the way of being, and the goal is more of the actions I want to take in the time frame I want to take them in. So understanding the difference between the two is important. Setting an intention in life can feel really good. Sometimes I'll set an intention for the beginning of the year, or set an intention for my yoga practice that day. It can make you really, it can guide your thoughts, feelings, and actions to align with your intention. However, setting an achievable goal really creates space for there to be a milestone that gets achieved. And that's so important, to feel like you're getting to the next step in your life. It helps you feel motivated, focused, and like you have direction. Just the act of scheduling something can be so impactful. So, for example, if you want to make a commitment to yourself and have your goal be, I will go to yoga or I will exercise once a day for the next 7 days, scheduling it can be such an impactful step. Like, when are you going to go? Put it in your calendar. And before it even happens, it makes, I don't know, it helps me feel so much better. Like I've already achieved something. So I've already taken that next step, rather than setting an intention to just be healthier, which, can mean a lot of different things. And maybe in the moment, I would make a more healthy decision. But when you set a goal, that decision has an action that follows that's a lot more concrete. And showing up for yourself is an act of self love in and of itself. It then attracts more people, more circumstances, more events into your life that are a vibrational match to your goal, to your intention, whatever feels good. Goals can be a source of personal and professional growth. I've said this before, but entrepreneurship is a form of personal growth. It goes hand in hand with personal growth, because it is so it's so scary to become an entrepreneur, especially if you haven't ever done that before. Or it can be, because you're putting yourself out there, you're taking risks. So taking those risks and putting your butt on the line, like, that will require some personal growth, the ability to show up, to be seen, to be heard, to risk being rejected or losing money, losing um, friends who don't agree with your decisions in life, which hopefully won't happen, but it is a risk. And it's really unlikely that a successful, sustainable business is built by accident without any clear goals or milestones. So it's just really important to get clear on what those milestone markers are going to be for you, and then kind of chunking it down sometimes into micro goals. Clarity is something I really want to touch base on. It is so important to get clear on your goals. You can start by visualizing the big picture of what you want out of your life. And sometimes for me, what I like to do is put myself into a state of self-hypnosis or a guided meditation, and just clear all the chatter in my mind and just start thinking, what is it that I want to feel? What is it that I want to have? Who am I with when I'm achieving these goals? What does my day to day look like? Do that for yourself and just see if you can get more clarity. And sometimes when you do an exercise like this, your goals become so much more clear. You're able to choose the primary outcome of what you want. Maybe that's a certain income level you want, or speaking on a stage, meeting the love of your life. But getting really clear about the outcome that you desire helps you to answer the pieces of the SMART framework that I'm going to talk about next. And that's something that I go through with my clients. But the SMART framework of a goal is getting specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. it's a great way to really ask yourself questions about the goal that you have in mind, or maybe you want to turn an intention into a goal so that it becomes a lot better achievable for you. So, an example of a SMART goal, like for me, I made a SMART goal for myself because I felt like I was working so hard in my job, on my business, with my kids were constantly needing things from me. I wanted to spend time with them, my dogs, my husband, everybody needed me. And I was not taking care of myself. It was really, really apparent, and my health was declining. So I figured that, in order for me to build an aligned business and to show up in the way I want to show up for my clients and for everyone else in my life, for my family, which is my whole why, I needed to set like a measurable goal for my health, because otherwise, if I just set an intention to be healthy, sure, that will help me maybe in my day to day to make some better decisions when I'm in a pinch. However, I needed, for my own mental, emotional, and physical health, to go to a hot yoga class like 4 times a week. And I needed to get physical exercise 4 times a week. And it wasn't just going to be any sort of exercise. I had a specific studio that I wanted to go to, and maybe I got specific about, okay, what counts as exercise? Is walking the dog exercise? No, not exactly. That's pretty easy. Is a hardcore 60-minute workout in my house count? Does that count? Yes, that does, but I don't want to do that every single day because I do like to get out of my house. So what else could count? Well, going to the yoga studio that I like to go to does count, as long as I go to like a really intense like boot camp class. So I got specific on what counts, how many times per week I wanted to go, and I could be flexible because my schedule is crazy busy. So I could be flexible as to when that could be, but I made a commitment that I would schedule it out at the beginning of each week, that I would go at least 4 times a week. This or something better was the motto. And it was achievable for me. I also said that I would do that for at least the next 4 weeks. So this is not only is this a SMART goal, but it's a process driven goal. There's a difference between process driven goals and outcome based goals. The difference would be the outcome goal for someone could be, I want to run and complete a marathon. Whereas the process goal for that would be, I want to train for the next 6 months consistently for a marathon. So for me, this was a process driven goal because I wasn't trying to lose a certain amount of weight or achieve a specific body type goal. I just wanted to feel better and feel more balanced. So what could you do in your life to create balance, to create abundance, to create whatever it is, however you define success? How could you break that down into a SMART goal? What is the intention behind that? How could that guide you in creating your goal? And then what can you do to get more clarity about your next steps, your next milestones? How can you maybe even chunk bigger goals down into smaller goals? Is it one that you want to focus on for now, and once that's achieved, you move to the next? Is there just one big long goal? There's all sorts of ways that you can do this, but the point of this episode is to really just drive home that it is so important to have goals and intentions. And when you combine those two, they become so much more achievable, and your life gets closer and closer to abundance, to balance, to inner peace, to whatever feelings that you desire to feel. It's also so important to align your goals and intentions with your core values and priorities in life. So something that I help guide my clients through in our sessions is really what are their values? What is important to them. And for you, you can just write in a journal or take yourself through some guided imagery. But for example, if family time is your highest priority in life, and you have a goal of getting hired as an attorney at a law firm that you know will make you work crazy overtime, then that's out of alignment with your value system. And when your goals are out of alignment with your value system, there's a conflict there, and you're going to be pulled in different directions, and it's not really going to work out in your favor. I'd also like to address overcoming some common goal setting challenges. I'd say the biggest one would be slipping up. So a lot of times we'll be on a roll with scheduling what we want to do. We have the clarity. We know what it is we need to do, what we need to take action on, and yet we slip up. Maybe we get sick or we get busy or something is more important. And then before you know it, you're back to square one. And this is where I see people getting so hard on themselves. However, in moments like this, it's so important to take a pause and think about how far you have come. Look for the evidence of what you have achieved so far. And I want to give you an example. You wouldn't throw away all of your money just because you lost $10, right? So it's okay to have setbacks. In fact, you learn from them. It's only a mistake if you don't pull the lesson out of it. So a lot of times those setbacks are gifts in disguise. So it gives you a learning opportunity to figure out how you can be stronger, what actions you can take, what beliefs you need to drive deeper and integrate deeper into your subconscious mind. The last thing I want to talk about in relation to goal setting is celebrating. So, celebrating your achievements along the way is so incredibly vital. And this is the one step that I feel like not everybody, but a lot of people skip. Because how often has this happened where you've set a goal, you've received a gift, you got a job, you met this amazing person, and you're excited temporarily, and then your brain like shoves you back into this like, okay, what's next? When's the next shoe going to drop? What's going to happen next? How can we protect ourselves from the bad thing that's going to happen? What could possibly happen next to ruin this, right? It's amazing what our subconscious minds have power over in terms of our thoughts that then become our beliefs. And then our beliefs really influence how we show up in the world, the actions that we take, the behaviors that we have. This is why really properly celebrating each milestone that you achieve is so incredibly important. I think it's even important to make sure that you are sharing these goals with somebody that's close to you. That way they can hold you accountable, and then they can celebrate with you when you finally do achieve that goal. Celebration, in my opinion, is probably the most important step in this, because this allows you to feel proud of yourself. It allows you to go to that next goal with confidence in mind and knowing that you can do this. It gives you evidence that you have achieved a goal, so the next one can only get easier. And celebration doesn't mean you have to go out to a fancy steak restaurant and drop $500. It could be just standing up, dancing, singing, putting your hands on your heart, feeling so grateful, shouting out in your room how proud you are of yourself, telling yourself how proud you are of yourself, looking in the mirror and just saying, hey, we did a great job. I know it sounds so cheesy, but it is so important. Do not skip the celebration part of this process. All right, you guys, we went through so much today. We talked about the difference between a goal and an intention, why it's so important to have both, and especially having that achievable goal with the SMART framework or whatever framework that you want to use, chunking down your goals into smaller pieces, getting specific, and celebrating. I am so glad that you joined me today. I could not be more excited to start this podcast and create more episodes for you. Right now, if you want to join me over at my Instagram page, I am posting content on there frequently. My handle is _it's Jackie Adams. And if you want to just click the link on my Instagram bio, that it will take you to a free downloadable Eliminating Limiting Beliefs hypnosis audio that you can listen to. That would make me so happy if you would check that out and let me know what your experience is. I also have a few openings left for some one-on-one calls this month. So please let me know if you're interested in that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you being here. Have a great day. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd really appreciate it if you could take a moment to leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your review is like a guiding light to help me help others. Until next time, remember that you are loved, you are enough, and you are worthy of all that you desire in life.